we would bring a couple of new phones on stage here. So what I have here, in my left hand, Micromax, and in my right hand, Prestigio. So these are their real phones under development. These companies have worked with Qualcomm and with Longcheer. Longcheer is an ODM, that's a device manufacturing partner. And these phones are up and running with live tiles, and the software is in good shape and well underway. And you can expect to see all of these companies making progress on their engineering with Windows phones to see that wide range of phone hardware. Now, I know one of the things that you're all really interested in is getting a good look at the software, so let's get to a demo of Windows Phone 8.1 software. Okay, let me see here. All right. Now, I want to start out by showing you a few ways that we've made Windows Phone 8.1 more personal, more sort of tailored to the way you use the phone and better at expressing your personality. The first thing I want to show is a way that we've tuned Windows Phone to help make you more efficient and give you a customized way to connect to the apps that maybe you haven't pinned and get to notifications about things that are happening, as well as get quick access to settings. So I'm going to come up here and pull down from the top and show you our new Action Center in Windows Phone 8.1. Yes, thank you. We know this is something that a lot of our users have been asking for, so here it is. And if you look down from the top, the first thing you'll see is it shows you more detail about things like your actual battery percentage. If I had dual SIM running on my phone, whoops, I think I pulled the power cord out there. If I had dual SIM running on my phone, I'd see information about both of my SIMs with their name. Up here, you'd see these 4 buttons are customizable quick settings. I can set whatever I would like. And down below are the notifications coming from all my apps. And as app developers, we're putting you in a position to really control what's shown in those notifications through new APIs that give you control. And the user has great control as well, because they can decide which apps should cause the phone to vibrate or make a sound or just show up in the Action Center and so on. So as you see, I brought this down over the lock screen. It's accessible wherever you are in the UI, really very convenient. Now, the second thing we've done to make Windows Phone feel even more personal is a feature that lets you greatly personalize your lock screen. And I'm pretty sure this is something that none of you have seen before. In Windows Phone 8, we had support for applications to set a background image behind lock. But in Windows Phone 8.1, we've implemented a new set of APIs for the lock screen, which we're using ourselves for a little while before we publish them all to you. These APIs enable lock screen experiences that are highly interactive and unique, where the application can take over full control and really render whatever it would like. As the first app to use these, we've been collaborating with Rudy Hoyne. You all know Rudy Hoyne, star Windows Phone developer behind Wikipedia and SixTag and SixChat. And he's been working with us to build out a first experience, which we, Microsoft, are going to publish in the store in the coming months to give users a wide range of highly varied lock screen themes. So in this case, this is one that's called Diagonal. And you can see the app has got complete control over the lock screen. And when I move and touch, it shows the time and calendar and notification information in a unique way. And when I unlock, it unlocks. And I'm actually going to come over here and switch to a different one to give you a sense for how widely varied these lock screen experiences can be. I mean, the sky is the limit in terms of what all of you will be able to do with this creativity once it's available. Here you can see my day of the week is displayed completely differently. The arrangement of things on the screen is different, and up here you see this cool sort of, this one's called Tokyo. These 3 balls all align very nicely when I pan right up to the top, and then it unlocks. So there's a wide range of possibilities here, and we think our end users will love the creative flexibility that will be possible with these new lock screens. Now, third, of course, we've evolved the heart and soul of Windows Phone, the start screen. And so I'm going to pan over here, and the first thing you'll notice on my small device, with Windows Phone 8.1, users have the option to choose a high density, lots of tiles layout where they get 3 columns of cross of tiles. And I'm gonna jump in here to settings and go to the start and theme area where you can see down here there's an on-off switch for showing more tiles. I'll leave that turned on. So that's one way we're letting users greatly customize their start screen. But another thing we're doing here is we're letting people choose a background for start. So I'm gonna choose background and go into the set of backgrounds that we've supplied, because I like this one here with this cool green texture, which matches my phone. I'll say OK, and then you can see there that photo has been selected. And now when I go back to start, voila, I have a really different and beautiful visual appearance for my tiles. All of this is about making Windows Phone more personal and better able to fit your personality and look the way you want and give you customization, because we think when a phone knows you, you have a better experience with it. There's no other device that's so personal. In fact, along those lines, actually, one of the things that we spent a lot of effort on this past year is a new feature that makes Windows Phone very personal in an incredibly useful way. So we've been working on this for a long time. We think it's an experience you're going to love, but rather than me describe it to you, I figure you should just watch as she comes to life.
Hi, I'm Cortana.
Well, here she is. I'm thrilled for you all to now meet our truly personal digital assistant for Windows Phone. And yes, her name is Cortana. Yeah! All right. Hey, Cortana, do you like your name?
Cortana? I love it. It's certainly a lot catchier than Microsoft Personal Assistant V1 Service Pack 2, 2014.
We thought so too. Any comments about how you look?
Some things I resemble. A hula hoop, a donut, a halo.
All right. Now, Cortana is powered by Bing. So since she understands the entire internet, you could say she knows everything about the world. But beyond what you'd expect from a mere search engine, Cortana also gets to know you. She's always looking out for you, and she keeps you closer to the things you care about most in the world and the people you care about most in the world. So let's take a look about how she actually looks and performs on a Windows Phone. So I'm gonna switch over to my Lumia 1520 here, and I'll unlock my phone, and I want you to notice right there on the start screen, front and center, right here, I have a live tile for Cortana. So of course, Cortana has a live tile, and you can see she's animating right there. And there's a number of interests that I've already taught her about, and the live tile is showing me this news and information. So that's one way I might get to Cortana. But Cortana also fully replaces the search function on Windows Phone. So whenever you push the search button, Cortana is there to help you do searches, find information, or get things done. So I'm going to go down here and touch the search button, and there's Cortana. And you can see she greets me. She looks a little excited to see me here on stage and probably to see all of you. She says, "What's on your mind?" And below that, you see she's giving a bunch of suggestions for things that I might ask. And these suggestions are actually personalized. If you watch them, sometimes she suggests things actually related to people that she knows about me, people that she knows that I know. And one of the nice things you could do here is I'll just touch this See More, so you get an overview of all the kinds of things Cortana can do. Like a real personal assistant, she's good at handling your communications and your calendar. She can make phone calls or send texts or schedule appointments or take a note, give you a reminder. She's also good at helping you learn things. She can do searches, tell you what music is playing. She knows the places you frequent, and so on and so on. So all of that is built right in. But we knew that if we really wanted to make Cortana the most personal and the most powerful digital assistant, that we needed all of you to help us make her better and better. So if I scroll down here, you'll see as well, Cortana can be extended via third-party apps. And there are a number of app vendors that we've been working with to get ready for this announce and have the first samples of speech-enabled Cortana apps that can do things when the user interacts with their phone, and I'll show you how that works a little later. Okay, so let me come back here again, and there's Cortana. Now, a couple other things you might notice. When we went out and started working on Cortana, we met with a bunch of real-world personal assistants, and we talked to them about what made them good at their job. And there was this recurring theme they had about getting to know their client. What were the things the client liked? Who were the people that he or she cared about? When should he be bothered and when shouldn't he? And a lot of them said they kept that sort of information in a notebook. We said, well, that's a pretty good idea. We should give Cortana a notebook. So right up here in the upper right, I'm going to touch this hamburger button, and you see, here's Cortana's notebook. This is the transparent way of putting the user in control of their relationship with Cortana. You can you can help her understand all of your interests, the people you care about, what your quiet hours are, and so on. So let me take you through some of this. When I go to interests, these are all the things that Cortana has inferred about me or asked me about or that I've told her I care about. I want a daily glance. I want to know about traffic. I want some news headlines. I care about the NCAA tournament, Stanford football, Windows Phone, and Xbox One. You get the idea. And the more I use the search function, the more Cortana learns about me by asking and confirming, would you like me to keep track of this for you, just like a real personal assistant would. Another good example of something Cortana really gets to know about you is the people that matter most. How could you have a personal assistant if they didn't know your friends and family? And that's the inner circle. So here you can see Cortana has inferred some people that I might care about. She's giving me suggestions down here. And then I confirm that certain people should be part of my inner circle, like my wife, my sister, and so on. And she even gets to know the relationships I have with those people. And that's really useful for a lot of different functions, but in particular, it's useful for quiet hours. I can turn on quiet hours and explain what I want my quiet hours to be, and then Cortana has a set of rules you see here for letting the inner circle break through even during my quiet hours. I might not want Terry Myerson to call me during quiet hours, but I probably do want to get a phone call from my wife. That level of control is entirely up to the user, just like you would have in a real-world relationship with a real personal assistant. Cortana also knows the places that you frequent, and she will automatically infer your home and work, but if she gets them wrong, they're right here in the notebook, easy to find, you can fix them. And if you want to teach her about some places that are important to you, you can just click the plus button and add a place, and then Cortana will come to understand that place as well. So the point is, the user is in control of his or her relationship with Cortana. Now, back on Cortana's home, you might be wondering, well, where do these suggestions and things show up? You might notice down here on the very bottom, Cortana is prompting me with information that's new. Wow, look at that. Microsoft is announcing Windows Phone 8.1. Here's a photo. So obviously that's something I'm interested in, and you can see her in action right there. Here's news and information about Xbox One, health news, sports news, the weather, and here's a good one. Cortana is asking, would I like for her to track Alaska Flight 26 from Seattle to Chicago? Now let me explain how she knew to ask me that. I've given Cortana permission to read all of the email I have on my phone. That's on my phone, Cortana on my phone. I've authorized her to scan email and recognize things that she might be able to helpfully track for me in the service. This is not the service knowing, it's the phone. And so Cortana has recognized a flight itinerary in my email, and now she's asking, should I track it? And I'll say yes. And voila, now the service becomes aware of it, and Cortana can prompt me when it's time for me to physically leave and get to the airport, wherever I am. She can notify me proactively if my flight is canceled or the time changes and so on. And that gives you a good sense of the way that Cortana on the phone gets to know you with your permission. It goes in the notebook, and then the service can be helpful proactively. So that gives you a sense of all the things that Cortana will do for you proactively. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, is this guy ever going to get around to showing me how I interact with Cortana? Well, yes, thank you for bearing with me. I wanted to really give you a sense of what she's about. So let me actually get her to do some stuff for me. So here I am in Cortana. The first thing, of course, that you'd expect is that she can help me with my calendar and being organized like a real personal assistant. Wake me up at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay, your alarm is set for 7 a.m.
Yeah, simple. Of course you'd expect that. She's not only good at alarms, but she's good with your calendar too. So imagine a real-world personal assistant, the kinds of things you might say to be organized. What's on my calendar for Saturday?
I'm finding 3 events Saturday. At 10 a.m., Alex soccer practice at soccer field. At 11 a.m., soccer game. And read all books from Game of Thrones before premiere, all day.
You gotta be ready, right? So in this case, I just ask her a question, she responds, and she's really good at telling me stuff on my calendar because that's what you would expect a personal assistant to do. And she can schedule things too. Now imagine you're in the dentist appointment at the desk and they want you to set up an appointment. Well, you can do this really easily. Put dentist appointment on my calendar for August 1st at 10 a.m.
All right, I'll add dentist appointment to your calendar for Friday, August 1st at 10 a.m. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, I've added it. Just so you know, you have pick up Christina from airport at the same time.
Aha. Well, that's what you'd expect from a personal assistant. If there's a conflict, you want them to tell you. And in fact, I could say to Cortana, please move an appointment and so on, and she can handle all those sorts of tasks. So that gives you a sense of how she can help you be organized and get things done. Well, as I said, she's powered by Bing and knows the entire internet, so she's pretty good at sort of searches and questions and those kinds of things. So here I am in San Francisco. I'm hoping to meet up with my family a little bit later, and I'm going to get a big group of people, let's say, and go out down in Palo Alto. So this is the perfect kind of thing that Cortana can help me with. Show me the best Mexican restaurants in Palo Alto.
Here are 10 Mexican restaurants in Palo Alto that are 4 stars.
Now here's what's going on. Of course, Cortana, powered by Bing, knows a lot about the internet, but remember, Bing has relationships with lots of other great data feeds. So in this case, Yelp data helps Cortana identify 4-star restaurants, and that's what she's showing me here. Now, because that data is present, and because Cortana is sufficiently smart, I can narrow my query in a really natural kind of way. I'm going to have a big group of people, so I want to make reservations. Which ones take reservations?
Here are the ones that are 4 stars and take reservations.
You notice she knew what I was already talking about. Now let's get a vote from the audience. I know some of you will know these places. Who thinks we should go to Milagros? Come on, Milagros. No one. Okay, I've been warned off. Cascal? All right, okay, thank you. The wisdom of the crowd in action here. So now, of course, I want her to help me complete the task by getting a reservation. Call the second one.
Sure thing. Who would you like to call?
Well, there you go, our first little demo bug with my nervous voice. Generally, Cortana is quite good at recognizing in lists of places like that, if I say call, she'll call and the phone call happens automatically. So, sorry about that. And actually, that's a good segue to mention that as you notice in the upper right, we're launching Cortana as a beta because we're training the service on the back end with lots and lots of voice utterances to improve its speech recognition as things go on. And later on, we'll remove the beta tag as we expand from the United States to the UK and China, and then following that to other countries. So not that surprising that the service hits a couple of glitches now, and you'll all get a chance to play with it later. Now, there are a whole bunch of other questions that I can ask Cortana. How did the Seattle Mariners do yesterday? Oh, it got a 2. I'm going to try that one again. How did the Seattle Mariners do yesterday?
On Tuesday, the Seattle Mariners defeated the Los Angeles Angels.
You see that?
8-3.
That's the undefeated Seattle Mariners there at 2-0. Cortana is, right now, the service is in the process of learning a ton about sports and being good at answering sports questions. So, I was out with a bunch of people and we were talking about a particular sports topic and this question came up. Oh, and it was a perfect scenario for Cortana, and one that I know a lot of you here in the audience will care about. How old is Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is 25
25.
years old.
For you Niners fans, I'm sorry. That means he'll be with us in Seattle for a long time. So we're all happy about that. We'll see how that goes. Cortana is good at answering questions about the world. And as I said, as beta, we're making the service smarter and smarter and smarter. And sometimes she can help me with tasks that are related to my question. So let's say I'm out eating and I'm, trying to track my calorie intake, watch my diet. How many calories in a banana?
There are 105 calories in a serving of banana.
Okay, so she answers the question, and what's even more interesting, if you look down here, I can see more nutritional info, or I can add this to my diet tracker. And Bing will keep track of this, part of Bing on the web, but also the Bing Health and Fitness app gets this data as a means of Cortana being extended to apps, and then when I use that app, the banana is then added and I can keep track of those calories. It's an easy way to interact with Cortana by asking a question and then get the data in another app. Some more questions. What's the weather in Las Vegas?
It's currently 51 and cloudy
Okay,
in Las Vegas.
straightforward. I know some of you might be confused by that. How about in Celsius? For the Canadians.
Here's that temperature in Celsius.
Okay, I know some of you are still confused. I'm sorry. I have one for the rest of you, and I want to hear whether this is what you were really looking for. How about in Kelvin?
I converted that temperature to Celsius.
No, that's not what I want. I'm going to do that again. How about in Kelvin?
I converted that temperature to Celsius.
The vagaries of a service that's alive and up and down. You should try this yourself when you get these bits, because Cortana is smart enough to tell you the answer in Kelvin. We've tried to make her smart, and sometimes, you think about the things that she might know and just how deeply can she reach into the internet to figure things out for you. And it's been fun to track in the limited use we've had at Microsoft to see the things that people are asking and tune the service and make it better. One of the things I know you all will be really interested in, what's the story of the next Halo game?
I'm quite certain you don't have proper security clearance for that information.
It is Cortana after all. I mean, I thought I would give it a shot, but you never know. Now, what you've seen me doing here is using the speech recognition capabilities to have a really natural conversation with Cortana. But there's lots of times that you expect and need not only your search function, but you'd like your personal assistant to be able to work in situations where it doesn't make sense for you to talk to her. So Cortana works with typing as well. So I'm going to go here, press the search button, and I'm going to do some typed queries. So the first one, and if you think about searches, sometimes you want to search the web, and sometimes you want to search on your phone, which is new in Windows Phone 8.1. So I'll say email from Terry, I'll type that, and now Cortana recognizes that I'm probably looking for stuff on my phone. She doesn't make any audible noise, and here you can see the emails on my phone from Terry. So search of local contents on the phone is now supported, and you see how Cortana handles that in a very natural way. Another example, you might be wondering, well, can I type complex requests to Cortana, or do I have to speak them? Yes, you can type anything. So as a personal assistant, one of the things that she's also good at is reminders. So I'll type in here, remind me when I get home to cook dinner for, not for my wife. So remind me when I get home to cook dinner for my wife, probably more realistically, cook dinner for my kids. I'll type it in. When should she remind me? Now, okay, here again, ordinarily she would recognize when I get home, and you would see right there, home. You get the idea. I can type these things. Generally, she recognizes places, fills it in, and makes it super easy, even when I'm not talking. Now, one of the other things that we've added into Cortana that is something we heard these personal assistants talk about a lot is the degree to which they help their clients with relationships with other people. You know, the personal assistants knew that you had a meeting with so-and-so, and they knew that the person had, you know, got promoted or was bummed out about something. And so a real-world personal assistant helps you with those relationships. We thought, well, that's a perfect thing for Cortana to do as well. In fact, it's something that other digital assistants don't do. So I want to show you a kind of reminder that only Cortana can do, and these are people reminders. So I'm going to keep myself out of trouble with my sister by remembering to talk to her about her new addition to her family. Next time I speak with my sister, remind me to ask her about her new puppy.
All right. Next time you talk to Nancy Baumgart, I can remind you to ask her about her new puppy. Sound good?
Yep.
Great.
Now, of course, since this is a phone, I might talk to my sister on the phone, or I might have a chat string with her, or I might have an email conversation. And in all those cases, Cortana will now remind me when I'm in the context of talking to my sister to talk to her about her new puppy. And of course, that will make my sister feel much better about me as her brother. Okay, I showed you a little earlier that as we're building up Cortana, we are making her smarter and smarter on the service backend, but we're also inviting you all to participate with that as well. And when people start talking to their phone in natural language, we want to be able to use the natural language capabilities in the cloud to make your apps work better. So if a user addresses an app by name and then says some text, we're going to parse that and get it to you so that good things happen. Let me show you some examples. Skype, get David Treadwell.
Starting Skype.
This is a new version of Skype that we're updating for Windows Phone 8.1. And you can see here, Skype has recognized David Treadwell, and he's coming online here in the contact that I have set. I'm not going to actually make the call here on stage. You get the general idea. There are lots of other things that we're working on right now, and we invite you all to participate as well. Let's say I'm at a party or I'm out and someone says, have you seen the new show, in this case, Deadbeat? It's a new show on Hulu. Oh, Joe, you should watch that. I don't want to have to navigate around and find stuff. I want to really get to my apps quickly, so I can now do that via talking to Cortana. Hulu, add Deadbeat to my queue.
Opening Hulu Plus.
And so the app runs, the service recognizes the data.
All right. Adding Deadbeat to queue.
There it is. Deadbeat has been added to my queue using natural language and making that really convenient. Okay, I got one more third-party app example I want to show you. We've been collaborating with one of our really good partners to light up Facebook. Facebook, what's up with Terry Myerson?
Starting Facebook.
So of course the app will launch, the text is parsed in the cloud. It found Terry Myerson, and here I am looking at Terry Myerson's newsfeed. So it's very quick and easy for me to pan in. What? It's so on. Okay, who wants to see what Terry has posted about on Facebook? Yes? Yes? All right, let's do it. That sounds like something Terry would post to his Facebook timeline for sure. I wonder what Cortana thinks about that. Do you like Jimmy Fallon?
Thank you note to Jimmy Fallon. Thanks for my TV debut on your show. Love, Cortana.
Excellent. Well, we certainly think that that's a great way for Cortana's career to launch. You get a sense of what she's about. From our point of view, Cortana is the first truly personal digital assistant who learns about me and the things that matter most and the people that matter most. She understands the entire internet, and she's great at helping me get things done, whether it's by typing or talking. So now I'm going to change gears and talk about a whole different part of the Windows Phone 8.1 and a bunch of work we've done to light up an audience that we love and which I know a lot of you will love, and that is businesses. So to help go through all the ways that Windows Phone 8.1 is now killer for businesses, I'm going to invite Nick Hederman on stage. So Nick, come on out.